Woman Spears, for sure.
Excuse me. Did you
There's free water upstairs.
I hear Adriana's walking.
I brought some tissues in case it was emotional.
I hear Adriana's walking. I brought some tissues in case he gets emotional. Oh my God. It killed my vibe. I hate the software. We're going to take it again. I hear Adriana's walking. I brought some tissues in case he gets emotional. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, this mess of a show, it is Juanqui Pro. I am Juanqui and welcome to my world. As you already know, on Thursday nights, I've been burning the midnight oil and the candle at two ends. I've been tired, children, okay? I've been tired. It's been a long periodical of a week trying to make this money, trying to not think about this war and everything that's going on, just trying to be a good person. You know? So I don't have to salaciously run the streets and do all types of, stuff for the funds, perpetrating and shit. I am tired, and I just want to give a shout out. Everybody that's been working hard this whole week, listen, you work hard, you get your paycheck, you pay your bills, and you feel like you're broke, and the whole night. At the end of the day, you're doing what you got to do, okay? You're not out there begging. You're not salaciously running the streets selling, rectum and cervix. You know what I'm saying? You're doing what you got to do. If at the end of the week, of the month, after you pay all your liabilities and all your bills and shit like that, you got 25 cents in the bank. Let me tell you something. You did what you needed to do. Okay? Shout out to you. Listen, I am a married man. The most I need to do is come home and cook a nasty piece of meal for an Incredible Hulk, sit with him, eat, talk about our days and the whole nine, do the dishes, and then, get in the shower and then run up in here and do this. And I am exhausted. I can only imagine the mothers that go to work and then they pick up children and then they have to feed, clothe, shower the children, tuck them into bed. Then they have to go take care of their man, because if you ain't taking care of your man, somebody else is going to take care of him. I could just imagine. I am exhausted. I don't know how women do it with them children. How, and then more than one child, and it's a lot. So, yeah. All right, let's get right to it. We have a confession from a creepo tonight. It says, I confess I spied on a woman while we were at university. Ah, shit, here we go. The hormones run free in the universities. The hormones, the ejaculants, and the STDs run crazy. But the pervert, the man says, this happened 30 years ago when I, then 20 male, was a university student living in a modernist halls of residence. I don't know what the fuck that meant, but okay. The rooms had ceiling to floor glass windows, and the geometry of the building meant that from an odd corner of my third floor room, I could see directly into a second floor room across the way. At night, I used to watch the woman, 20, female, whose room it was, walking around naked, getting ready for bed. Drop a bomb on that. Now I ain't saying she asked for it. I ain't saying she was looking for it, but why are you walking around your home if it's floor to ceiling windows naked as a college student? I think are you a nudist? Is that what you into? Like you want to be watched and seen? It's okay, tell us. But right there, like what girl is going to be walking around with floor to ceiling windows, glass, naked without the shades down? That don't make no sense. Let's continue. The rooms had ceiling to floor glass windows, and the geometry of the building meant that from an odd corner of my third floor room, I could see directly into a second floor room across the way. At night, I used to watch the woman, 20 female, whose room it was, walking around naked, getting ready for bed. The weird thing is, the woman didn't like closing her curtains. I love Blake. It sounds like she didn't. All types of curtains. The ones from the floor to ceiling, and then the beef curtains too. Apparently she... The weird thing is, the woman didn't like closing her curtains to the point that when hanging out in her room, other friends used to comment on it. Her room backed on to a field and a public footpath, so as well as me, I expected a few dog walkers got an eyeful. Like I say, I was spying from an odd corner at night like a creep. Okay? Because there's one thing, if you're walking around and, the window and then the she's an exhibitionist, a nudist, and she's just walking around. But if you're specifically are looking for the right angle, you're looking through like corners and shit, and you're like, okay, let me see, and let me go to this other area. That's the pervert right there. That's the pervert. That's the creepo shit. If you're just out and about walking on the footpath and it just happened that this girl is out there, with her bazongas out, wanting to feel free and empowered as a college student, then that's something else. She giving you a show. But if you are across the way looking for the geometry, the sun got to hit the right way, and then you got a little mirror to bounce it off, and that is the creepo shit right there. Okay. Like I said, I was spying from an odd corner at night, so hoping it would not have been obvious. But one time, I thought she caught me. She was naked and suddenly strode purposely up to her window and looked straight up at me, like right into my eyes. Damn, how close were you? I completely froze and sort of slowly moved from view. Oh my God, this reminds me of that meme. That Bart Simpson meme. No, it's actually Homer Simpson, where he just backs up into the bush and gets covered by the leaves. Okay. I completely froze and sort of slowly moved from view, and when I looked again, her lights were off. But if she saw me that night, it didn't change her behavior. See, I'm telling you, she up there giving shows, stunts and shows. I know that this was bad and regret my actions. I would like to apologize to the woman. This was 30 years ago. What is wrong with you? My God, creep. No, you want to see, now that you old and decrepit, 30 years later, you want to see if y'all can rekindle the little flame thing, that little exchange that y'all were having. That's what it is. You ain't trying to apologize. You haven't even thought about this. I would like to apologize to the woman, but of course I cannot, as I've not seen her in decades. That's if she's still around. So this is a confession to get off my chest and throw me at the mercy of the readers. Somebody says, have you ever heard of the trait or term exhibitionist? Somebody says 30 years of guilt is punishment enough. You learned, move on. Somebody says, I don't think she cared, and there's a decent chance that she was doing it on purpose. Somebody says, "Why confess now? Has the wank bank memory faded?" What did I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? He trying to rekindle that old thing. Somebody says, "She knew you were watching every time. I was working late at a large university, and one of the night maintenance guys laughed and said, 'Women always walking around in their rooms naked.' It should have been in their rooms, but this person put THERE, in their rooms naked with shades open at night, especially on the weekends." Somebody says, let's see. Somebody says, "You're not the only one who's wrestled with this. You violated someone's privacy 3 decades ago, and carrying that guilt shows you've grown into a better person than you were." Oh, we know the lack of melanation to this comment is there. "If you make amends, one honest sentence is a good place to start." And last, before I give you my wonky thoughts and my wonky views, I used to live opposite of an exhibitionist. She get change right up against the window in full view of 12 closely placed houses multiple times a day. Often when guests were leaving my house, she'd be stripping off and pretending she couldn't see us whilst we saw everything. Let me tell you something. It's just a certain type of individual, whether male or female, and there's one particular trait. Now, this is my opinion. You don't have to take it if you don't like it. Don't write it so hard. It's my opinion. It's not a dick. Okay. These kind of comments, these kind of posts always come from the same type of sun dodger, lack of melanation type of individual. What is it with people trying to bring shit up decades later? Drop a bomb on that. If there's something I have come to terms with and realized over the last 2 months that I've been doing, well, I've been doing this for more than 2 months. Three months that I've been doing these confessions and advice and stories. Every time there's something that's just ridiculous and stupid, it always comes from the same demographic. And I don't need to be graphic. You already know the demographic. Like, what is the point? It was 30 years ago. You were a college student, hung and full of cum, probably. Drop a bomb on that. Okay? You were a peeping Tom, and she was an exhibitionist, and she was pleasuring herself at night, and so were you. What the F do you think is gonna come up first of all? You trying to find this bitch on social media? I know that's what he was doing. He was on the Facebook. He was trying to see if the alumni page from the college has names and shit. He's like Googling, YouTubing, he's Instagramming to see if he could find this bitch. Okay? You know, as if this bitch wants to be reminded she was a whore when she was in college, and then she found herself, and she's trying to be a reputable woman, perhaps leading a household. That's if she's still here. You know, we did go through a global pandemic recently. It's Naris 21. It's the lack of melanation for me. I don't understand. And we have done stories and confessions here that they just get so ridiculous, and there's a common theme among all of the ridiculousness and the people who just don't let shit go. Let it go. It was a moment in time. It does not define your whole existence. You know, when we were in college, our brains as males was not fully developed still. Throw a little bit of weed, throw a little ecstasy pill or 5 in there, or rave nights and a lot of alcohol, and you really got sponge brain at that time. So your actions are ridiculous. Now, was it a pervert thing to do? Absolutely. Let's not camouflage it. Let's not try to give you a pass. No, you was a creep. That was creepy. You was a creep. And if you was doing that back then and you feel comfortable to come out here and tell strangers and you're trying to look, chances are that type of environment, chances are your eye wanders still. Okay? Let me tell you, I was once young, hung, and full of cum too. I didn't do no creepo shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. You can't chuck that up to hormones. No, there is something that right there is psychology. That right there is psychology. There is something in that man, in that brain that had him going through the right geometry, like he said, angles to try to get a peek at this lady. Okay, spying, and it's not just spying; it's peeping Tom. Look at her. If you know the bitch is naked, and if you didn't have that creepo factor on you, like you would have had somebody let her know that the windows are open. We can see everything. You know what I'm saying? So don't try to come here now holier than thou. You know, I have learned from my mistake, and I just wish to apologize. Shut the fuck up. Drop a bomb on that. Okay. Just shut up. Some of this stuff just makes me just ridiculous. I sat here all tired, you know, from the whole week. I sit here and listen to a Sun Dodgers bullshit. Really? And then he a man on top of that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Naris21, let me put your comment up there. I'm just saying, Naris21, let me know if I'm, am I giving too much? It's ridiculous. We've been here week after week reading some of these advice seekers and, on confessions. And it's a common thread among these fucking idiots. They're idiots. I said it. They're entertaining, but they're idiots. I said it. I said it. Okay? This is one common thread among all of them. Well, I wasn't going to do much today, but thank you for being here. If you have stumbled upon my channel, I am Juanqui and welcome to my world. I am a cornucopia of stuff. You just never know what kind of video and what kind of commentary you're going to get out of me. On Friday nights, I go live every single night, but on Friday nights, I get extra salacious. So please make sure that you are here. Needs met. Make sure that you are here tomorrow for my Friday night extravaganza. Make sure that you don your bestest eleganza as we will wrap up the week and begin the weekend. All right. Oh, Miss View is a view. This one is gonna piss you off, Miss View. I'm gonna let you catch the replay on this one. Okay, this was ridiculous. I lost it with this one. So it's a certain type of person. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let you guys go. I am going to get some rest. Please make sure that you get some rest. Happy Friday Eve. The weekend is here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Okay, bundle up if you are in the East Coast. It's a frozen wave again. We're back to 21 degrees. Okay. All right. With that said, I will see you guys tomorrow for Juanqui Pro's Friday Night Extravaganza. All right. Peace.